जय नारायण बच्चों, आई होप you all are doing good. I hope you are following SMS rule. S means what? S means soap. You have to wash your hands with soap for 30 seconds. And M for mask. You have to wear your mask whenever you go outside. And S for social distancing. You have to maintain social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters. So today we will start our new topic, our new chapter, that is quality. Say this word quality. Something positive comes in your mind, like quality means what good things in you, what good things you have in yourself, what good qualities, what are the features of your personality. Yes, quality, if we talk about the quality of a product, quality means how good that product it is, how good that product is. So it can be good quality or bad quality, but when we talk about the word quality, we consider it in a positive way, in a great way. That quality means having standard, having some standard. Quality was written by John Galsworthy in 1912. Story written in first person narrative. Plot is set on the two traditional German shoemakers who did not compromise with quality and craftsmanship but met the sad fate of extinction in an age of marketing where success is determined by advertisement and not by work. So in this story is all about two Gessler brothers, German brothers, and they were very hardworking. They used to make shoes, and they used to consider it as their art. So but something happened. What happened? But due to this marketing and advertisement, everything gone wrong. In this picture, the narrator is saying that there was a shop of these Gessler brothers of shoes where they used to sell their these boots, and it was very ordinary shop. There was no advertisement of these boots, and there was some pair of shoes displayed on the window pane, and nothing else. And the shop had a quite distinction, like in this way that shop was very different because they never believed in advertisement. And what he made never failed to fit. One day he asked from the Gessler, one day the narrator asked from the Gessler that it must be so hard and difficult for you to make such quality shoes, isn't it? So Gessler replied, it is an art for me. It is not a trade for me. It is not a business for me. It is an art of mine to make boots. Such boots has he made. But for the narrator, those boots were very mysterious. That work was very mysterious and wonderful because they used to make very quality products. So one day the narrator went into that shop. He said that it was very hard to go to that shop because I failed to find any default in those pair of boots. But one day he went there, he asked for the pair of boots. Then Gessler came downstairs and he asked that what kind of boots you want. Then he went into other portion of his shop.
Nigel Naylor, he's a tailor. He makes trousers, suits and shirts. Penny Proctor, she's a doctor. Comes to see you when it hurts. Peter Palmer, he's a farmer. He's got cows and pigs and sheep. Wendy Whittock in the country. People work in the town. People work day and night to make the world go round. Language teacher teaches English, French and Greek. Gary Gummer, he's a plumber. Call him when you've got a leak. Patty Prentice, she's a dentist. Keeps your teeth both clean and white. Ronnie Ryman, he's a fireman. Comes when there's a fire to fight.
Oh, Gessler brother came back with a piece of golden brown leather. He said, do you want these beautiful piece? The narrator said yes. He's asked, when do you want them? Tomorrow fortnight? The narrator replied, Thank you, Jesler. But the last pair of boots was not okay, was making sound. Jesler said, okay, send them back. In case I will not be able to do in those pair of boots, I will pay your money back. While making that statement, the narrator got scared because it was unfair to make that statement for that hard-working shoemakers. While the Jesler brother was looking at the narrator, expecting him to take his words back because he didn't like that statement. He was so hard worker. Then also he was hearing that statement. It wasn't fair, and he was expecting him to take his words back. The narrator went into that shop with a new pair of boots which he bought from the new firm in an emergency. But when Jesler brother looked at those boots, he didn't like that. He spoke. Finally, he spoke on that day. He had spoken to the narrator. He wasn't angry. He wasn't sad. He wasn't dissatisfied, but something strange in his personality, body language on that day. And finally, he had spoken about his trade, which was not going cool, like which was not going good. And he said all those things which he had in his mind. He told him that how these big firms have stolen their work by advertisement. They are not believing in providing quality products, but they are selling their products by advertisement, and day by day I'm losing my work because of these big firms. Narrator went into that shop after many months, and what he saw his that Jesler brother appeared to be his elder brother. But then I saw it was indeed himself. He asked, Mr. Jesler, how are you? I'm pretty well, he replied. Oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Why he said I'm sorry for your loss? Because Mr. Jesler told him that his elder brother was dead. His elder brother was dead, and he was looking like his elder brother because of the hard work he used to do. The narrator ordered several pair boots, and after that he went to abroad. When he returned from the abroad, he left the man of 60, and now he's 65. He's talking about Jesler brother, young Jesler brother. One day when he received all the orders of those beautiful boots, he wrote a check in the name of Jesler brother. Evening, after a week, the narrator passing the little street, and he thought to go into that Jesler shop. When he went there, what he saw, the shop's name has already been removed from there, and there was an Englishman. So he asked from that Englishman, where is Jesler? He said he's dead now, and then he asked the reason why. So he replied, due to slow starvation. Then they were talking about Jesler brothers. They were talking about their hard work. They were talking about the quality products. They were talking about how they were so involved in their work. They have spent all money in their work, in paying rent and all, and day by day how they were losing their work. But then also they never cheated their customers. They believed in quality products. They believed in providing quality products, not by advertisement. The moral of this story is that we should always do our work full heartedly. We should never think about gain or loss. We should be honest for our work. Then only we can be able to recognize by the people.